Hello, 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 and welcome to a brand new episode of the Uncovering Greatness podcast. I am your host, Suleiman Steele, and today we are joined by my new co-host, it seems, Michaela Mitchell. And we are also joined by South African rower Olympic athlete, the man of the moment currently, Mr. Chris Baxter. We actually said that we might have Chris on the podcast this week, and
that was just a joke.
We did say we're not promising anything, but Michaela is so good at sales, guys, that she was able to sell him on why he should do this freaking podcast. So I'm super excited about that. Chris, how are you doing? How goes it?
Doing well. It's been a busy few weeks, few days. But really excited to be here.
So you guys have actually been on a press run for the past, this morning you guys did a bit of a press run for the past couple of weeks. You've been doing a lot of press lately. What's that been like for you?
Definitely a new experience. I haven't really been used to being asked to do interviews and asked to speak to all these different people. It is definitely something that takes getting used to.
Yeah.
Just in terms of actually speaking and getting a different angle for almost not really the same question, but in essence the same question that people are asking in terms of how likely are you to win a gold medal?
How do you feel about it? All of those things.
So it's, and I guess it also adds a little bit of that outside pressure. Obviously the goal is to win a gold medal, but that's just spoken within the confinements of our camp, of our team, and then obviously to the loved ones around us. But to be saying it out loud on a radio or a TV interview, it's definitely something new for me, and just needing to get used to almost putting it out in the space and saying, okay, this, yes, we speak about it freely on camp and at training, that is what we're training towards, but almost getting used to saying, yes, we are going for the gold medal.
So you're also the under 23 world record holder
in the pair.
Yes. with Damien. Yeah. If you guys have watched our videos from Circle, if you've been at Circle, you've seen them there talking about their journey. And even that, you guys never set out to go, we're gonna break the world record, right?
Never. It was never even then with Damien, we didn't ever it wasn't ever a concrete thing of we're going to win the gold medal. A lot of people have asked, when did you know you were going to win the gold medal? And I was like, well, 50 meters before the line, I knew I was going to win the gold medal. That's about it. You can't really take anything like this for granted, especially in sport. It's never guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I got the time wrong in the boat. The previous world record I thought was a 6:21, and on our stroke coach after the final it came up as a 6:20.
Okay.
So it has to do with the GPS picking up late or something like that. And I turned around to David and I'm like, dude, I think we broke the record. And that was the only time, that was the first time that we had actually spoken to each other about this record.
Yeah.
You obviously train against it prognostically, but it's never a thing of, I'm going toward to under 23 World Champs to break this record. It's obviously going to win gold, but it was never set in stone.
And how does it, we talk about the gold medal, and I think everyone going into the Olympics, everyone's like, you must win the gold medal, you want to, that's everyone's like hope and dream. But how does it feel going into like the Olympics as essentially the underdogs? Like there's no serious like pressure on you. No one really we expect a gold medal, yes, but you're not sitting like first in the world. There's no ranking. How does that make you feel going into the Olympics?
I think it's really cool. Like, there's no, like you said, there's no like pressure on us from like previous results or previous rankings. We are in the field, we are the babies in terms of like how long we've been together and how long we've rode as a crew.
Because everyone else has been together for almost a cycle, at least 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, I know most of them have been together for this last cycle. I know the Spanish have been together for 2 cycles now.
I remember you and John meet together.
Not even a year. They are less than a year. So it's like, John and I often speak about like our improvement curve is insane compared to what the others can gain. Like, yeah, okay, obviously we don't know what they can gain, but we just say there's still so much more for us to learn and learn about each other and about how both of us move in the boat and what happens when one gets tired and the other one doesn't. So it almost has this been like a blankets type of thing to say like, look, you guys are you want to win the gold medal, but you guys are in essence the underdogs and no one expects anything from you, which would then make it like an even better story for coming back with the gold medal.
Yeah, the Godfather and the
young
hot shots. That's what they're calling them in articles now. Chris is the young hot shots and John is the Godfather. I think he's the most accomplished. He'll be the most seasoned athlete going to the Olympics for the South African team this year.
I mean, that's crazy, right? Because you went with somebody who has the experience, right? So I mean, like I said to you before we started, I wanted to sort of touch on this from like a sports meets business perspective, because I think that I always feel like those two collide really nicely. The things that you need in business and in sport, I feel like they work together. So I mean, you have somebody like John, who's, what is he? The Godfather. Almost a seasoned veteran.
I'll give that too.
But he's not. I prefer the Godfather.
Yeah.
It sounds better.
I also think it sounds better.
So you got somebody who has experience. I mean, he's won gold before in Rio in 2012. That was at Rio, in London. So you have somebody who has that experience, somebody who's been there, done that. What is that? Does that pressure add to you as the young hotshot, or does it sort of lift you to play at a different level?
Yeah, I mean, there's actually, it's weird. There's less pressure almost.
Okay.
I mean, we speak, or this last camp that we've been on, obviously getting closer to the games. We've spoken a lot about it, the games, and about the we call it the circus. Like the circus around the 5 rings. There's 5 rings.
Yes.
You know what makes the Olympics?
But it's like that's
Got me about to do some research.
that's the thing.
And
Yeah.
important things. Like he's not there to look at the ring. He's there to get a medal if he makes
there's like, yes, obviously the Olympic village is cool, and it is something that I want to experience.
Yeah.
But like, there is no added pressure. There's no like, we just do our thing.
Mm-hmm.
We focus on what's going to make the boat go as fast as it can, and learning from John. It's I say, after I started rowing with him, I said to our coach, I was like, I feel like I'm finally actually like learning how to row because before he came into the team, there wasn't really like a leader in the team. So it was almost like no, we were this very young team. We were this very young squad, and the older guy the older guys that had been to the games they weren't really like leaders.
Okay.
So like they were more like, yeah, let's do it type of thing. Not really guiding us how to get to the games. And as soon as John came in, he was like, look, you're not going to get anywhere doing what you guys have been doing. You need to, like you said, take it to the next level. We started training differently, looking at the different sessions in a completely different way, to say, okay, like, yes, you can row a steady session where your heart rate's in zone 1, very easy stuff, but that's not going to get you anywhere. Like, you basically might as well sit on the couch and watch an exciting game of rugby or soccer or something.
So would you say that, like, John's come in, so you knew a lot about rowing and you were quite experienced,
Yeah.
After winning, world champs, under 22 world champs, breaking world record, but would you say that you completely sold out to John and submitted to what he wanted you to do, essentially? Like, he led you and you were like 100% in, submitted completely?
100%. Well, I was actually joking with John, and I said to him, literally anything you say, I listen and I do. And he's a massive jokester. He talks the most nonsense I've ever heard come from like an adult, and I'm like, this guy's got 2 children and he's still like, basically everything he says is a joke. But then it's like, understanding that when he does say something and like he means what he says, it's like, okay, we've got to do this. And one of the first things that he said to me when we got on the boat was, if you're going to row with me, this is the stroke that we're going to row. You're going to put it in long, you're going to leave it, you're going to take it out, and we'll be fast. And that was literally our saying from when we got into the boat to world champs last year, was put it in, take it out, leave it, take it out, speed. That was as simple as it, and there wasn't any like me saying, okay, but why do we do this? Why do we do this? But I know that I didn't win my gold medal like that, or I didn't break the record like that. We must do it like this. It was, he knows what he's doing. He's been in the game for longer than me, basically half my life. Like, he obviously knows something. Yeah, I don't, and I'm like, give it to me. Like, I want to learn everything.
Yeah, I feel like that's, I feel we've heard like Barry speak about something so similar before, like when so you've been a sales rep, has been a sales rep for a long time, and a new sales manager comes in and they're kind of like, well, I've been doing this for 10 years, I've sold so many things, so why do I need to learn from this guy? And for me, I'm just picking up, it's like the importance of being teachable, right? And actually, like Michaela said, submitting to the process of, he knows what he's doing. He's been there, done that. Why would I want to not? Yes, I may have broken the world record at under 23s, but I've never done what he's done, right? So why would I not want to learn from this guy? So I wanted to, and I know you did, you attended,
Sorry.
yes, you. That's how you know this is real, right? People sneeze will not be edited out.
This is not staged.
This is not staged at all.
But talking on what Suli's saying, you can get back to your point now, but am I correct? You've seen quite a few of the guys that have previously been to the Olympics. They aren't prepared to sell out to John. They aren't prepared to submit to some of the things he's saying, and that's probably why they didn't qualify this year.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, it's quite funny. When we were going through the trials for the pair, and obviously it was John and myself against two other guys who, one of them had been to two Olympics, so Tokyo and Rio, and the other one, funny enough, also won under 23s in the pair.
That was the year before you, 2 years before you.
2018.
Okay.
Yeah,
A while ago.
a while ago. Yeah, so like, you know, they're not just like random.
Just jumping.
Yeah. But John always says something to me, and he was like, so, couldn't end it up there, but he was like, Jake is not that guy. Like, you know, it's the ability to almost like take everything away and say, I want to learn. Clearly, I'm not at the top. How do I get to the top? And like, what can I learn from whoever is at the top? I mean, like, I was so hungry to be the best in South Africa that I was like, I'm going to take whatever I can, and you know, if someone next to me doesn't want to, that's their business. You know, they're lost in the long run.
Sorry guys, I didn't know what day.
But yeah, like, you know, they definitely were people that almost fought it a little bit, you know. Like, yes, tried to get into it, but didn't fully like give in and say, okay, I have more to learn.
Yeah. So I mean, what I wanted to actually ask, because I mean, you've attended our self exclusion. I wasn't sure how to just phrase that.
He's even come to find beauty.
So you've attended Sales Explosion with Barry. And the question I wanted to ask is sort of around, I mean, you didn't have a product to sell. You weren't selling anything like most business owners or anything like that. But what was the importance for you to be able to do a program like that, a 2-day event? I mean, you took 2 days out of your schedule, which is pretty damn
big.
busy, to attend a program around sales. What was the importance of that, and like, what did you gain from actually attending the program?
Other than the fact that I told him he had to.
Well, that's good at sales, you know.
Very good at sales. Like, I mean, as an athlete, you know, and funny enough, I actually said to Barry, I was like, I don't have a product. What am I meant to sell? And he looked at me and he said, well, you are your product.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to sell yourself. And from then, my whole perspective has changed, you know, just having the ability and the knowledge to say, okay, yes, I don't have, or I am my physical product. I need to be able to go to corporates or whoever it is and say, look, this is the product, me, and you know, it is important because yes, we have a brand sponsorship for the team as a whole, which is RB, as you can see. Shout out to RB. But as an individual, there's no set sponsorship.
Okay.
So it's very much you live by means of yourself. So traveling to camps, to everyday training, food, everything is all your own own expenses. Yeah.
And how much of a toll does that take on you as an athlete?
Quite a big one. I think, like, especially because, you know, luckily enough, I have a very good support system that, you know, if and when I do need they always willing to help me.
Yeah.
And you know, after a while, you start feeling like, okay, well, when is too much? You know, like they send me to school, pay for all my junior tours, my under 23 tours, and now I'm an adult, if you can say, somewhat. And I'm like, yeah.
You're an adult.
In the eyes of the law, you are.
And like, you know, I'm still relying on my parents.
Yeah.
Heavily. And I mean, my mom owned my car, my mom owned the apartment that I lived in. I'm like, you know, it's scary to think like, you know, yes, you're an adult, but you still rely so heavily on your support system. Like, yes, it is good. It's amazing to have them, but it's almost like when is it too much?
Yeah.
And I know I've spoken to my parents about this. No, it's nearly too much. But like for me, it's like you know, I know I'm not the only child, and I think that's also big. You know, all my other siblings have either studied or are studying. I'm the odd one out.
So
How many of the
with your training, like with your strict training regime, and if you want to keep going, like do another 2 Olympics or at least another 1 Olympics after this, can you get an everyday job, like a standard, 9 to 5?
No, I've tried it. It didn't work.
What did you do?
I was a financial advisor, and yeah,
That was before you learned to sell.
yeah, that was.
We were actually talking about it last night. He goes, yeah, I started it. I really wanted an X3.
No, an M4.
An M4, whatever, a BMW. The wrong choice, but okay. He wanted a BMW when he first started, and then he realized that his network wasn't big enough, so he couldn't make enough money.
And I also didn't know how to sell. I was like, my clients were my mom, my brother, and my coach.
Well, I mean, right? So you just go for low-hanging fruit,
Yeah,
right?
but then what? Then he stopped. He was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
what
then I-
people
then
can't
I'm
sell.
Like, okay, where do I go from here? You know, so yeah, it was very challenging. You know, trying to financial advising isn't, I wouldn't say is the easiest job, especially because it's money. It's obviously a sensitive topic for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Never noticed that.
And you know,
People love to talk about it.
if you you know, for like fully, I don't want to say committed, but like not fully there all the time, you know, and then I started feeling bad. I was like, geez, like I'm basically only focusing on my rowing because that was the year that we were going to go, or we wanted to go and win gold, and we did. And I was like, everything else at that time was taking a back seat. And I'm like, you know, you have a job, but you're not actually earning any money because you can't.
Yeah.
You're away on training camps. You basically, you have, I'd say, 3 hours of free time a day.
So what does a normal like training day look to you? What, 2 to 3 sessions?
Yeah, so, well, it depends if we're on camp or not. The last few months have been on camp.
So you've been on camp since, I think their coach said they've been on camp since the 6th of March. And then they've been like back
In and out.
in and out, you know, like Chris has been home for I think this total of like 2 weeks in the last 3 months.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
You're on that barrier level, not
Yeah.
out there around, just out there doing what you got to do. But like, so I mean, you spoke about really like getting your point of understanding that you are the product and that you need to know how to sell yourself. How much has that shifted in the past, like since you did Sales Explosion? How much has that shifted in terms of you being able to sell yourself to corporates, to businesses, to get funding?
yeah, I think, I mean, I've said this to Michaela countless times, like, you know, I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't go on sales explosion.
What is this?
Like this podcast, this podcast, this like.
I was gonna put a unicorn.
We had an interview this morning at the NCA and
Live TV.
live TV,
Oh man, it was live.
Yeah.
and I'm like, a year ago, no, 2 years ago, I would have been sitting there like this.
Just stuttering.
Yeah. And I mean, like that, and I say it to Michaela, like so often, you know, it's changed my life because I'm now able to sit down and actually like promote myself and have a conversation and not think too much about what's actually happening and just speak, just talk, you know.
So we were speaking about it, and Michaela also spoke about it last podcast, and it's circled around your social media presence. I mean, because it's a big part for athletes now, right? It's, I mean, not just for athletes. It's the same for businesses and everything like that. People want to be able to see that you're active. What is your reach? What is your audience, and all of that type of stuff. And you've seen a shift in terms of your, not just your content. I mean, I know that I've seen the shift from the content.
Because I'm creating.
The weird stuff you and John were putting out to like where you're at now. Has that also helped in terms of bringing in new sponsors? But not only that, just like being able to go onto live TV and speak, like openly, but without thinking about it. Has that shifted your sort of your social, like, because you even said to me, like, your focus was rowing.
Yeah.
So you didn't care about your social media pages, which we always say to business owners, don't care about your social media.
Yes.
Just get somebody to come and do it for you, which then just adds to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a positive. You know, there's always like a shift in, like, okay, you know, you can only I was like, you know, I post a video every now and then about rowing and
Once a month.
yeah, I was like, okay, that's cool. And you know, at the time we had like a few partial sponsors for the team that would come in, and you had to post a thank you to Future Life for this bar or whatever it was. I'm like, to the 500 people that follow me, they actually don't care about that. I'm like, okay, well, you know, that's it, I guess. But now, like, you know, going to the bigger corporates and saying, like, would you like to sponsor an Olympic athlete? The first thing that they say is like, okay, how many followers do you have?
Well, send us your social.
Yeah, send us your, yeah, and you know that, like, after being told that 2 or 3 times, you go, okay, clearly, like, this is, you know, because it's not really about like you getting out there. It's like, okay, if they coming in and saying, okay, we're willing to put this much into you,
Yeah.
but then you've only got 500 followers. What is your, like, what are they getting from it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really, like, shifted the way that I've started to look at it. And yes, I joke that Michaela's my PA, and you know.
I'm on his case.
It's not really a joke, it's a fact.
Okay, I mean, it is a fact.
Don't tell my dad.
I'll edit that part.
And I mean, like, you know, she does help me a lot with my videos, and you know, it's like really encouraged me to say, okay, yes, we know you row, but almost try to show like a different side of the athlete, you know, yeah, like say, okay, yes, you're an athlete that's going to the games, you row, cool, but you know, you do also joke around.
You're so blessed.
Yeah, do sexy Saturdays at gym type of thing.
Yeah.
And I
Super
mean,
orcs.
like looking at like Chris, your awareness of social media became greater, but we didn't dramatically change what we were posting and things like that. It was, we still kept it we still kept it very similar. We just changed things. It was like knowing to collaborate with certain people so that your reach can be greater. And you went from somebody who was getting like 1,000 views to now 17, 18,000 views.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what the corporates and the people are looking for, you know, videos with big views, athletes with, and I think that's sort of been an important thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and those videos have also, like, you know, broadened the spectrum of people that have like visited my page. So that's also like, okay, you know, you're not now just only getting the South African rovers that see your stuff. Is now a much larger community that like you're starting to engage with.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I have it just for right now. And I'm like, I never ever cared about running a year ago.
Probably didn't even know what it was.
I thought it was like the kayak.
Yeah,
I was like, that's the same.
We've got to like
same
show them
vibe.
videos. One goes forward, one goes backwards.
No.
But I mean, I would be amiss if I didn't ask you this question, because you and John were at the Racing 92 Stadium. When was it? 2 months ago.
May.
In May.
Yeah.
And you guys met the great Siotanda Kolisi.
President.
The unofficial president. When he runs in the next 4 years, we will all be there. But what was that like? And I mean, would you say that currently there's been some sort of I wouldn't say collaboration, but like, is he sort of helping change the way you view how you do what you do?
Definitely. First of all, I think it was, insane. Like, you know, obviously going to an all-boys school, rugby was very big, and, you know, kind of put me off rugby a little bit for a while, you know. I'm not saying that don't support the Springboks.
Can't say that.
But, you know, it was like, it wasn't like this massive thing where every time they played I was, you know, having a braai, sitting down, watching the game. But I mean, after meeting Sia, you know, first of all, he had no clue what rowing was, which, you know,
Most people
no,
don't.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't surprised. I was
We had the Olympic send-off dinner last night, the big gala dinner at Emperor's Palace. There must have been like 5 Olympiad, a lot of people there. The CEO of Bidvest came to, was it the CEO of President? I don't know.
I don't know.
Or I think she was the CEO
Well, Sascock.
of Sascock. There we go. She came to greet us, and she said, "So what do you do?" And Chris said, "Rowing." And she went, "Oh, this one." It was like, no, that's kayaking. And you know, even for like someone at that level running
Head of Sascock.
Yeah.
doesn't even know what rowing is. Like the average person doesn't know what rowing is.
Yeah, so, you know, we spoke to him and we were like, I mean, we showed him where the others, and he was like, "Geez, this is insane." And then, you know, we started speaking, and as most things do, you know, it goes to, you know, how the sponsorships, you know, what's the funding like, type of thing. And he was actually he was shocked at how little recognition we get. Like, even like, you know, we qualified for the games. He was like, "How are you not getting more and more traction with the bigger companies, with the Adidas, with the Nikes, all of them?"
And like I'll add something I found out, like fun fact today, is rowing in South Africa is the only other sports sector, third to swimming and athletics, that have bought more than one gold medal or more than a medal from different Olympics.
Yeah.
So like athletics brings from like almost every Olympics,
Yeah.
swimming brings from most Olympics games. Rowing is the only other sport for South Africa that's bought from numerous different years.
And still doesn't get the recognition it should be getting.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, how does that feel? Like for you guys, does it actually bother you, or you just do what you do? Like, do you? Because like I would imagine my little voice would be saying to me, "Somebody better give me some damn money. Like, this is I'm going to the Olympics. Give me something." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I think that's why like Chris's previous partner stopped rowing, because I mean they broke the world record, won under 23s. There was barely any recognition in terms of that. And he eventually was just like, I've been rowing for 8 years. This is my results, and there's not a lot that's come out of it. You know, my family and friends know, and what else?
Yeah.
So, but you were saying with Sia, if you spoke about your funding and your, you know, sponsors and things like that, when did that turn? What happened with that?
Well, kindly nothing happened with that.
Well, the conversation.
But
you know,
he was saying like, he was like adamant that he was going to speak to like his sponsors to see what they could do and you know, see how they could help us going forward. And yeah, I mean it's crazy to I mean hear it from captain of the Springboks to say like, look, you guys should be getting like more recognition. And I mean, so to answer your question, in my youth, my younger days, I was very much like I've achieved this. Why is no one like why am I not being recognized? And I think like you said, you know, your little voice kind of says like, I won a gold medal. I have a world record. Why am I not being recognized among the top? Excuse me. But you know, after going to Sales Explosion, no, I know that it's not about that. It's not about like, yes, at times it would be absolutely amazing to be able to say, you know, I don't know, I got recognized by Nike or whatever, Red Bull or job. And I know at the end of the day, like it's ultimately that's not the reason I'm doing it. And that's not like it can't be a driving force for me to carry on doing it or carry on rowing, because that's like it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
You know, if you're doing it just for the recognition, then at some point you're going to burn out and ultimately have nothing left. And then.
So my question would be, then why are you doing it? What is your drive?
So I think it's a little bit like a twofold. When I was younger, I always saw like my older brother's success in academics, and you know, he got cultural colours, sports colours, academic colours at school, and you know, I was there like I was good at rowing. So part of it is saying like, you know, almost proving that like that 14, 15-year-old Chris, like, think you are good enough and at something. It might have taken a few years, but you know, you will get there. And then also just with a pure love of the sport. You know, the first thing that went through my head when the doctor said that I had a blood clot was I might never be able to row again. Not if this thing just lodged, I'm going to have a stroke and then had to be done.
Yeah.
It was, I might never be able to row again. And that was on my mind most of the time. And, you know, to be able to represent South Africa, you know, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, there's, especially in rowing, because it is such an expensive sport where you do need a lot of backing. You do need almost like a foundation so that you can get to the elite levels.
Mm.
And then now to be representing South Africa at the Olympics, it's a dream come true, really. You know, I've been thinking about it since I was 16, and you know, to finally get there, to finally say, I'm going to the Olympics, I'm going to race the best of the best. Yeah, it's insane.
Can you have an Olympic in your family? Yeah.
I do indeed. My aunt, Colleen Osmond, she rowed for South Africa, and
Precious.
yeah, she went to 2 Olympics. She went to the 96 and to the 2000 Olympics, and I actually didn't like. Obviously, I knew, like, I saw the pictures in my grand's house of her, like, with the Olympic tracksuit and everything, but I didn't quite register how hectic it was until I got to under 16. When I was 16 years old, I was like, oh, okay, this is serious. And it almost like making the games is like, okay, like, you know, it's like, you know, your family get to say, you know, oh, we've got two Olympics. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, you just gotta upset your siblings.
Don't worry about that.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, my final question. I don't know if you have any more questions. You know the South African national anthem? That was my final question.
Most of it.
No, you have to be able to sing it.
It's quite funny. When David and I won the gold medal, we were walking to the it wasn't really a podium, but you know, the winner's jersey, the helmet. And Terry says to me, "We're not singing that and done." I'm like, whatever. Both of us then, as we started playing, we were basically screaming this thing, trying to hold our tears.
It's really so.
Yeah, like every time I sing the national anthem, it always like take you back there. Like last night at the awards, the sale off, and we sang the national anthem. I kind of had to like turn away a little bit, I was getting all emotional, you know. Like it's real. It's actually happening.
And so, yeah, just, I don't have any more questions, but to end off for everyone out there, we're planning on having a WhatsApp group, or, you know, a group to share our, you know, experience in Paris. We're gonna, well, I'm gonna go watch too, not Sully. Sully's gonna work.
That laugh was the meanest laugh.
Yeah, we'll create a group to share Chris's feats. And not his feet, his feet. Yeah, and then another thing is going to Sales Explosion might not get you to the Olympics, but it will definitely get you Olympic level results. That is what I end up with.
Yeah.
Down. And with that, this is the Uncovering Greatness podcast. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Michaela.
Thanks, Sully.
Good luck to you and John. I'm not going to say bring home the gold. Do what you guys do, man. Just go out there, do what you do. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week on the Uncovering Greatness podcast. We will not have an Olympia next week, so we'll probably have Barry back. who is an Olympian in his own right, as he likes to say, that this business is his Olympic Games. So we'll see him next week. He'll tell us about his experiences, what he's been up to lately. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. It's been awesome. See you guys next week.